On Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. Tuesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about. NXT and AEW over the next 2 days. NXT is the fallout from Halloween Havoc. 3 title changes at Halloween Havoc. And we got title matches. A number of title matches coming up on NXT this Tuesday. We've also got 4 segments announced for the Fright Night Dynamite, which is taking place on Wednesday. Edinburgh, Texas is the location. Saturday night's main event is Saturday. Yeah, Saturday night's main event is Saturday. And we're going to talk about it because Raw was the go-home show for that event. And it was a Raw, let me tell you. Awesome main event. 2 people pretty much knocked out on television, and the matches continued. 1 person practically had their head shaved in the middle of a match because their hair got caught in someone else's gear, and they were, like, legitimately trapped. It was insane. In the middle of a great match, by the way, and they covered for it great. So we'll talk about all of that, plus an update on Mike Rotunda. We've got the UFC Paramount media rights deal already expanded, and I don't even think it's even gotten into effect yet. AJ Styles talks about retirement. Steve Maclin's contract status. Ortiz's contract status. Chris Bay, update on his recovery. And, of course, the Raw Report. Lance Storm joins us here today, so if you want to text us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. Lot to get into here today. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died. Yeah. All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie about this.
What is up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was going to say, the very first one was a
Many
disaster.
problems. Many problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like, every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect her audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the Granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week. As far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
Just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. We're on the show. Bryan Alvarez here. Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm is joining us. Sandman here on the chat says, Happy Halloween party day, everyone. Just catching up watching the 2005 Bound for Glory before watching the Impact Wrestling from the week. He notes I'm watching Bound for Glory on DVD, which has a whole 3.5-hour show on it. So tonight, obviously, on the Bryan and Vinny show, it is 20 years ago on TNA Impact. That would be the week of October 29, 2005. And we're also watching some of the top matches from what was the very first Bound for Glory. I always thought Bound for Glory dated back to the Asylum days. And they had a whole bunch of pay-per-views that they did before they introduced Bound for Glory in 2005. The 2005 Bound for Glory is the first one. Now it's like their WrestleMania, the big show of the year. But I laughed when he said he watched it on DVD because some of us are old enough to remember DVDs, and some of us are even older because sometimes on TuneIn Radio you can listen to this show on TuneIn Radio on Sports Byline. But TuneIn has a lot of stations, and they have a couple of classic Art Bell stations. And I was listening to one the other day, and he's doing this interview with this guy. And then, they go to the commercial, and they play the spooky music. And then all of a sudden you hear this lady's voice politely say, "This is the end of side one." So basically, it was like a tape or something. This guy had a tape. I guess they sent out tapes or something, or maybe a record to listen to this old Art Bell show. Please turn the tape over. All right. No, I never did Laserdisc. That was not my jam. Lance is still dealing with his dog here, so if you hear a noise and I mute him, that's what's going on. All right. A couple of notes here. By the way, for the Bryan and Vinny show tonight, we are doing the Halloween song contest, so you still have a few hours left. Send the song to Bryan at WrestlingObserver.com. Make sure it is an MP3. Make sure it is 60 seconds or less. And try not to use any audio that will get us flagged on YouTube. So once again, Bryan at WrestlingObserver.com. Put song contest in the subject line. And away we go. So let's get into the news here. Barry Windham asking fans to pray for his U.S. Express tag team partner Mike Rotunda. In an interview with Bill Apter that was conducted on October 25th, Windham stated that Rotunda is currently in hospice care. He did not disclose further information about the illness that Rotunda is battling. It's kind of tough right now. Mike is in hospice right now. So anyway, that family, I love that family. It's so tragic, said Windham. Every patient is different. Hospice does not mean this outcome is guaranteed, but it's a care option that's recommended when a patient dealing with an illness is expected to live 6 months or less. It aims to manage symptoms while maintaining the best quality of life possible. Windham and Rotunda were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as the U.S. Express in 2024. Both had runs in WWF and WCW. Rotunda likely best known for his time playing the character IRS in WWF. After asked fans if there's anything he'd like to say to fans, Windham said, "It's been a great ride. I would like you all to pray for Mike. He's the father of Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, late Bray Wyatt, and late Bray Wyatt was named after his Uncle Barry. Rotunda also has a daughter named Mika." So, all the best to Mike Rotunda. Lance, you ever meet him?
Oh, yeah. He was working as a producer, actually with my run as a producer in 2019, and I would have met him a few times just backstage whenever I had my school and would stop by a show. So he was always there and friendly but quiet guy. And, yeah, this came out of nowhere. wish him all the best.
Also got a quick note, U.S. media rights deal for UFC and Paramount. It begins in 2026, which for those of you, I know some of you, going on a little sleep like Lance here, it's only 2025 right now. So this deal hasn't even gone into effect yet. They're already expanding it. They revealed a new 7-year media rights deal. It's going to add Latin America and Australia to the mix via the Paramount Plus streaming service, aligning them with the U.S. rights. Deal begins in January. Latin America rights are identical to the U.S. 13 numbered pay-per-view events, 30 fight night cards. The Australian portion includes the fight night shows, prelims for UFC numbered shows. So, $7.7 billion. This is not including what they are just working on now with Latin America and such. The original deal, which goes into effect next year. 7 years, $7.7 billion. These TKO folks are making a lot of money. A lot of money. AJ Styles is going to miss competing in the ring. He announced he will retire at some point in 2026. No official date set yet, but he's already kind of doing a retirement tour. He bid farewell to Australia and Japan at house shows, which I don't think it's a for sure he's not going to go there again, because I don't even think we know the schedule for 2026. And I'm not sure when he's going to retire. Maybe WrestleMania. I don't know. He said, not many people can say they love their job, but I do. Going to suck when it's over. But that's always been my ultimate goal, retire on my own terms. No doubt in my mind, I may not have made it to WWE without Japan. Tenure in Japan helped me figure out who I was, what I wanted to do. When I went to WWE, Vince wanted me to be who I was in Japan. The style from Japan did not change when I went to WWE. That's the guy Vince wanted. I didn't have to change anything, and maybe that's why it got over so well. So they're currently one half of the tag team champions. There is a rematch with Finn Balor and JD for the belts next week on Monday Night Raw. Got a couple of contract notes. Steve Maclin. His deal expires at the end of 2025. So apparently he signed a 1-year deal last year. Is that a normal thing in TNA, Lance? 1-year deals?
That's what I've always done. I think there's a lot of them that run calendar year to calendar year. Now, granted, I'm a guy with a visa, so that's more convenient with you renew your visa when you renew your contract, where Macklin's American, but I don't think it's uncommon.
Ortiz also says he has roughly a year left on his AEW contract, hopes to remain with the company. He's also been doing apparently backstage work. They say also, but I think that's all he's been doing. I can't even remember the last time. When was the last time we saw Ortiz?
Yeah, I just recently asked on like Threads or Blue Sky because I saw a clip of him wrestling Santana, and I'm like, I don't recall the last time I've heard anyone mention his name in a match with all the shows I hear reviewing AEW. So he's been out a while.
It is quite amazing that Santana and Ortiz were like this. They were a great team in AEW, but at the time, it was like Ortiz, he's the guy with the charisma. And Santana's just kind of, he's all right. He's just kind of a fella there. And Santana always wanted to go singles. And everyone always said, it's a bad idea, man. Take him away from Ortiz. What's that guy got? And now here we are. It's 2025. TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He's incredibly charismatic. His partner has vanished into thin air and is working backstage at AEW. It is rather amazing. You never know who, when they go single, can really break out and who can't, because a lot of people can't. We've seen a lot of teams, saw it with the Acclaim, for crying out loud. Broke them up, and now they're, I wouldn't say scrambling to put them back together, but they did not work out as singles. And Santana not only worked out, but he thrived. So yeah, good for him.
He got the ball, and dude ran with it. Very, very happy for him. Good guy.
All right, we got more news after the break. We'll get into Raw here in a while. And I've still got a very, very exciting. Make sure you come back after the break so we can do this very exciting New Japan Best of the Super Juniors recap. Yeah. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well, that was just
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. I looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag,
Uh-oh.
so I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock,
She is so your
crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet in El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It's never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what's going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Looks my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided to-
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
Over there like,
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. Well, we got an update on Ortiz. He tore his pec in January, which usually is not an 11-month recovery period, but that's what happened. So hopefully he's recovering and we'll be back soon. So that's the update on Ortiz. Also, this just came through. Sol Ruca says she's hoping to be cleared to return in time for deadline, which is December 6th. She's not cleared. Her leg was in a brace. They did an angle. They did an angle on the pay-per-view where she took a bump. So anyway, it's clearly not a serious injury, if it is even an injury at all. I watched the NXT segment and on TV, and then I watched the pay-per-view angle, and I'm very skeptical the severity of this injury. It could be a minor tweak that she actually has to, do some physical therapy for. But planning to be back in a month, I don't buy it. So that's good. I don't want her out 9 months.
I'd much rather it be fake.
But yeah, I don't think it's a clearly not a serious injury if it's an injury at all. 1 year after a neck injury altered the trajectory of his career, Chris Bay celebrating the fact he's even alive. On this day, well, that was actually yesterday. 1 year ago yesterday was the day that he broke his neck in that match. It was at a TV taping. And now he's walking around, and he was at Bound for Glory. You saw him there. You said he was moving better than some of the wrestlers.
He's moving better than I currently am, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked fantastic. And yeah, there was the night after Bound for Glory last year. And man, that was a long, hard night. But yeah, incredible the return he's made. He looks fantastic. He walks around again. If you didn't know that he had broken his neck, you'd have no idea today.
Says, wrestling has always been in my life long before I made it a career. Since I was 3, I've been addicted. I've known this was what I wanted to do with my life. Rarely does one get to chase and achieve their dreams. If this was to be the end of my journey, I have no regrets in the decisions I've made that led me to this moment. I had a lot of conversations with God, understanding that I was still alive for a purpose made me push every day with an unimaginable strength and drive. Supported my amazing girlfriend, the best tag team partner ever, TNA, the entire wrestling world. Kept me feeling like I mattered, I was cared about. So grateful and thankful for all of it. The work from doctors and staff, top notch. Today I celebrate life because a year ago I thought it was the end of mine. Greatest story ever told, far from over. I love you all. So all the best to Chris Bay. Still wants to have maybe one more match or program, but he's going to wait to see if his body tells him that's a good idea. So, if it were me, I don't know. I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't. But I'm not Chris Bay. But I'm sure he very much wants to try to make that work. All right, well, should we talk about the best of the Super Juniors?
Go for it.
Yeah. It's apparently not lighting the world on fire. Jeremy Finestone, Fight Game Media, speaking of strong-styled podcasts with this update. After 4 nights of action, Doki and Sho, who are the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions, are in the lead with 8 points after defeating Daiki Nagai and Clark Connors. They are actually tied with Yo and Master Wato with 8 points after defeating Hiromu and Geto. This is such an exciting tournament that I think I called it the... what did I call it? Best of the Super Juniors? It's actually the Super Junior Tag League. So, on the final night of A Block, October 30th, these two teams will meet. And that's it. That's the update. It just started. It's almost over. So,
there you have it. There was a bunch of tag matches.
There were a bunch of tag matches. That I can confirm. All right. Anything else here? We had an email for you the other day. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, I saw it after the show, of course, because that's how the things work. All right. Actually, it was the question about the belt. It's a follow-up. He says, I'm also getting the old Raw tag title made, not the horrible penny belt that Lance won back in 2003. My friend has a
penny belt.
Huh?
I never held the penny belt. That was after me.
Yeah, it sucks. My friend has a guy overseas who makes really good quality stuff with real leather. He's got a picture of his Intercontinental belt right here. Looks really nice, not going to lie. I do like that belt. I think actually we might have auctioned it off. I had one, but we auctioned it off a few years ago. Hey, if you have questions for Lance or myself, you can send it to us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. What's on everybody's mind today before we get into the Raw report?
You know, it's something I noticed just talking about belts, that the Raw World Heavyweight Championship is the only belt/championship in a U.S.-based company, to my knowledge, at least on television, that mentions a weight class.
Which one?
The World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, yeah.
No other belt, I believe. TNA just calls it the World Champion. AEW is just World Champion.
AEW is men's World Champion and women's World Champion.
But they don't... No other company, even the X Division, of course, obviously is about no limits, not weight limits. So I believe, not that there is a weight class, but it's the only one that mentions weight at all anymore in the U.S.
Well, you're correct, and it's the one that you can mention a weight because theoretically, the weight limit is the limit. You know what I mean? So for the world heavyweight title, I guess Omos, maybe he shouldn't be allowed to fight for the world heavyweight title. If we're saying that heavyweight goes up to like 265 or whatever, and then I guess Brock would be out of the running as well. Really large men, I guess, should have to abide by the weight. But anyone under 265 can fight for the heavyweight title.
Well, yeah, but it's not like WWE or pro wrestling weight classes the same as UFC, because 290 and 300-pound men have been fighting in the heavyweight division forever. Gosh, when WCW first put in their light heavyweight championship, it was 235.
235
was the limit when they first
that was the
introduced
alleged.
light
I thought it was 225.
They changed it. When they first put it in, it was 235 because Tom Zink was even a light heavyweight, and they had 235 back in the days of far more rampant supplementation.
All right, this person here says, John Cena has said you're never going to see him in WWE in the gear and in the gimmick, in a sense. After this year, he'll be in suits, and there will be more of him in Hollywood, the real him, in a sense. So I guess if his name wasn't really John Cena, I guess if it were you'll never see Lance Storm in WWE again, but you would see Lance Evers, I think is what he's saying. But since his real name is also his gimmick name, you'll see John Cena again, but not the WWE superhero John Cena.
So he can do Legends appearances, Hall of Fame.
That's what it appears, yes. But it says, I like the way Jade and Tiffany sold the heel turn in a way the commentary totally missed. Jade and Tiffany were looking at each other like they both knew Jade was going to kill her now, and they were sad about it. It was like a mob hit where the hit man is the victim's friend. I don't think that was the intention. I think that's just how they reacted because they're both kind of green.
They may be giving too much credit to their acting skills.
I think that might be. I've watched a lot of acting. This person here says, I'd like to tell Lance I was a big fan of the Impact players. Now that he works with TNA Impact, why hasn't that name been used again?
I don't know. I'm not part of creative. I did joke with Scott when I first signed and agreed to come into TNA when it was Impact Wrestling. Because, you always get the so-and-so is all elite. And I joked with Scott that I wanted a graphic for them to share that mentioned that I was now an Impact player. He laughed and said deal and then never released the graphic.
Well, you tried.
I tried.
All right, this is actually an email from yesterday, so it's a little outdated, but we're going to do it anyway. The streets are saying, this person says, the streets are saying Jericho is signed with WWE and is who the cryptic walking feet videos on WWE Social are all about. Well, I can tell you 100% that's not what the videos are about. The videos, the feet walking videos were it's part of the new WWE commercial that I think just came out today. So whether he is going to WWE or not, it has nothing to do with the feet. And also, he could not sign with WWE now because he's still under contract with AEW through the end of the year.
It felt weird, the little video bits using the poker chip or the gambling chip, just with AEW having such a casino, double or nothing, roulette sort of gambling trend to most of what they do. I get that Mania's in Vegas, but making gambling references in WWE feels like gimmick infringement.
Also, a lot less run in Vegas by AEW of late. It's kind of becoming the WWE thing.
Well, it's the TKO hometown. Maybe they've got them blocked out somehow.
I don't know if they can block him out of all of the buildings, but there may be. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot less. Oh man, what is this? Somebody sent me an AI of a Filthy Tom puppet. That thing is horrifying.
I immediately dip, scroll past, or avoid anything AI.
Look at that creep. That should be a good gimmick for Tom. Hey, back in a moment with the Raw Report, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Let's do this unnecessary censorship.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just your ass.
That was terrible. Horrible. They weren't the Heart Foundation. They weren't the British Bulldogs, okay? They're two geeks. And this celebration these guys did.
Oh.
I mean, they're like, Sean, give me brother. Yeah.
A place like that?
You two dorks. That's what you did. Why are you so excited?
Because they're awesome.
Okay. That was better than the first one.
It picked up at the end there.
Yes.
Unnecessary censorship.
He beat him. And 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 he beat him. I'm sweating.
Time to stop.
And he beat him.
Was this edited?
And then he beat him. And he beat him. I actually wore that shirt. It just says he beat him. He beat him. He beat him all the way down. Like,
All the way down, you say?
I dropped her off at camp, and the camp counselor just looks at me. She goes, "He beat him and beat him." I was like, gag gift.
Brian, would you for me again this week? It's too hot to do much.
That's true. It is too hot to do much.
I guess I just better do it because it came up for me.
I'll wait.
It won't come up again. It's pretty short, so I'll just do it. Yeah. Now I gotta find it back.
Okay.
It isn't
Damn, I'm
coming
gonna
up.
kill you. How about you just it? Okay.
Ouch.
What else we got, Vinny? I hope the granny licks her finger to turn the page. Lick that finger. There'll be
Page
an
2.
unnecessary censorship coming up. Lick that. Okay, let's see. Unnecessary censorship.
So Oro Ethan after the match and gets his ass just into the earth.
Vinny.
And Ethan is leaving, holding his all confident. And then Oro just comes back to life, and now he Ethan's ass.
Oro jumps him from behind.
Yep.
Then he beats his ass after cheap shotting the guy. Haha. That was interesting. That's quite unnecessary. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. The show, Bryan Alvarez here, a Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm is joining us. You watched Raw on and off last night?
I did, and a little bit this morning. But again, I was running on very little sleep, so I was in cranky old man mode.
Well, it opened up with 8 to 10 minutes of straight yeeting. And then Jay came out to cut a promo, and Punk came out to cut a promo. And I mentioned on Observer Radio last night that I watched this and I thought there's a decent chance Punk is turning this weekend. And people were like, there were no signs of it. Why? That's the point. Because if you've been watching this show of late, they've been having this feud, this multi-person feud. It's like Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, like Roman's involved, LA Knight's involved. Like, all of these guys are involved. And they're all total jerks to each other. LA Knight acts heelish. Jay acts heel. And they're all baby faces. Jay acts heelish. Jimmy kind of acts like a baby face. And they've never teased anything like this with Punk. He's always been a babyface. So everyone is figuring that either Jay is turning heel or Jimmy is turning heel. That's what everybody is expecting for this weekend. And if you watch how Triple H books, it's usually very patterned. But every now and then there's something in there that you didn't expect. And the way Punk did this promo, especially when he kept saying over and over, are you going to do... How far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go? How far are you... He said over and over again, how far are you willing to go? And it's like, you're trying to encourage this guy to beat you by cheating for the title? That doesn't make any sense. So the more he said, how far are you willing to go, the more I thought, this guy's turning. They're going to do a swerve, and they're going to surprise everybody. You're not supposed to see it coming, and he's turning. I don't know if they're going to do it, but that's why I thought that. And I also thought that because Punk has been wanting to turn heel since the day he came back to AEW. He literally talked about it in interviews in like 2021 or whatever, 2020, whenever he came back. And he's getting to the age where at some point it ain't going to work. They're not going to boo the guy. So if he's going to do one more heel run, you got to do it sooner rather than later. So the other thing is, one other thing, we know the plan was for Seth Rollins to be the head of the division all the way through WrestleMania. He was going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And then, after he lost, presumably, they were all going to turn on him and beat him down. Well, he got hurt. They turned and beat on him early. They clearly don't want to go to Braun Breaker yet. That's why they kept him out of the Battle Royal. And so Punk can turn heel, align with Paul Heyman, take Seth's spot that they had all the way planned out through Mania. Punk is the top heel in the group. Braun's getting more and more irritated. WrestleMania comes. It's Punk and Roman Reigns instead of Seth and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns beats Punk. They all turn on Punk. And away we go. That's what I think's happening.
Yeah, I would initially think no, just because I don't think the Punk and AJ, the happy married couple, is done. But when you mentioned that Seth is out, it kind of takes the couple versus couple feud off the table, because Seth's not going to be around for a while, and he'll be a babyface when he comes back. So, yeah, I could see doing it, and it'll just be tricky to see what they do with AJ if he does.
We had Penta and Rusev, number one contenders match. Match was actually very good, but then the Americanos ran in for the DQ because this was a number one contenders match for Dom. Dom hired his friends to ruin the match because he's an idiot, and he figured if he did that, there wouldn't be a number one contender for Saturday Night's Main Event. But he's an idiot, and they announced it would instead be a three-way at Saturday Night's Main Event.
That almost always happens.
It always happens. We had a bunch of promos backstage. LA Knight did a promo and just basically said he was going to take out the winner of Saturday Night's Main Event. And then Braun and Paul are backstage. Braun's still angry. Paul says, you know what? Someone here on this show is going after the winner Saturday, so you need to take that guy out. Braun says, make the match. It's LA Knight. Had a segment with Adam Pearce on the phone. Finn and JD showed up. They wanted a rematch for the tag titles. Adam Pearce is like, that ain't happening. And so he says, Sheamus wants a match with one of you guys for eliminating him after you were eliminated last week. JD says, I'll do it. So he goes to take him out and says he's going to be coming back for his tag title shot. Nikki and Roxanne. God, did you watch this match?
I got disinterested early and then didn't pay attention too much.
Did you even notice Nikki knocking her out?
No, I did not.
Oh, my God. Nikki slaps her across the face.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
And she face planted. And, I mean, she just face planted, dude. Like a UFC. Just went thump on the ground. And Nikki just stood there like, oh, my God. And so Roxanne tries to get up, and she's like stumbling around, and the ref grabs her and hugs her and does an X behind her head. And I'm like, well, this is over. And instead, like, she kind of shakes it off. They immediately go to another spot, and Nikki drop kicks her full force right in the face. Roxanne comes up stumbling. Now she's bleeding from the mouth. I'm like, why is this match continuing? What are we doing here? And they let it go, and Roxanne got a little bit of heat, and then Nikki makes a comeback. They do the spot in the corner. You know what? You put the boot up. You got to watch this boot. She throws her into the corner, and Nikki doesn't put the boot up. She brings her leg back, and she kicks, like, freaking right into Roxanne's face. I'm like, are you mad at this lady or something? What is happening? And they keep going, and then Raquel ends up interfering. Roxanne pins her with the Pop Rocks. This was freaking brutal, dude. I mean, absolutely brutal. I mean, I don't know what happened here, but I don't know if it's a lack of house shows. I don't know if Nikki needs to be, like, training somewhere. I don't know what, but this was brutal.
Yeah, they lost me on the opening spot because Roxanne went to offer a handshake. Nikki sort of like, no way, and slaps her hand away, and Roxanne slaps her in the face, and Joe Test goes, Nikki's not going to fall for that. I'm like, she stood there and got slapped in the face. She did fall for it. It was just one of those spots where it's like, why would you smack their hand out of the way and then stand there and get smacked in the face unless you're a very dumb baby face?
We had Asuka and Kyrie running into Lyra, who's getting a tag title shot tonight. They want a shot. They're angry. And then Bayley shows up, and Lyra, who's getting a tag title shot, tells Bayley, you got us into this mess. I was like, what mess? Get a tag title shot. What are you talking about?
People beg for those.
And then Jimmy and Jay meet, and Jimmy's mad at Jay for throwing him out and storms off. And then later they have another meeting, and Jay basically says, you know, you were going to throw me out. You just didn't. And I threw you out, and I don't need more enemies. And they basically kiss and make up for now. Braun Breaker and LA Knight. This was another one. Braun goes for the Breakensteiner, or whatever they call it. LA slips under, pushes his feet out, and Braun frickin' flips over, lands right on his head, and he is seeing stars. And like like LA grabs him in a hold for a while, and like Braun's looking out. He's out of this. He's just gone. And he finally got his bearings back. They had to do a bunch of holds. And then they let this one go on as well. And then LA went for the flying elbow. Braun kipped up, speared him, and pinned him. This was also bad. I don't know what the rules are anymore. It's like
be a lot of impact tests being taken over the next couple days.
I'll say, dude. And then they just let him keep wrestling. And
well, in both cases, it was the person that was going over that got, let's say, their bell rung. So stopping it may have ruined future plans, although that shouldn't be the reason behind it. You should be looking after people's health.
Well, yeah, but you can just throw it out. You don't have to declare the other person the winner. Just stop the match. Don't even announce a winner. Just stop it. I mean, God. Sheamus and JD. It's a good match. JD won with the Spanish Fly after interference from Finn Balor. So he got his big win, and then they went and talked to Adam Pearce, demanded a title match. Pearce didn't want to give it to him, but AJ said, nah, let's do it next week. So they're rematching next week. Adam Pearce met with Maxine, who wants another shot at Becky. Adam Pearce said she earned it, but she said that she will tell him when she wants it because she needs to find a friend to confirm she's ready.
Okay, just because I'm in grumpy old man mood, how did she earn it? She won by countout when the ref fast counted Becky.
Yes.
And then she won the next match when Becky hit her with a chair.
Yeah, she didn't really.
She's not actually done anything to win either match.
That is true, but Becky got an easy way out for the last one by cheating, so she probably deserves a rematch. We had the main event, Charlotte and Alexa versus Lyra and Bayley. So this had an incredible moment in the middle of a quite great match. Actually, I would say everyone was raving about this match when it was over. And so, like, I'd heard everybody raving about it, so I start watching it. And, man, the first half ain't much. I mean, it's fine. But there were a bunch of spots early where I was like, oh, man, it's about to fall apart. But it didn't. They kept it together. And it was just fine early. So then Lyra makes a hot tag, and she hits the ring. She's running wild. And she grabs Alexa Bliss, and she gives her the Nightwing. But as she lifts her up onto her shoulder behind her back, somehow her hair gets tangled in Alexa's top. And I don't have any idea how it happened. But she hits this Nightwing, which is like a Michinoku driver, and you just see her head get yanked forward because she's connected to Alexa's top. And so she hits the move, but she doesn't immediately make a cover because she's like trying to get her hair out. And then, the ref's like waiting, so she hooks the leg, the ref counts 2, Alexa kicks out, and they're still trapped. And so Lyra's like, she's yanking on her hair, and she's talking to Alexa, and they're talking to each other, and you just see the camera pan away to the side, and the camera goes over to Charlotte, and you can see Charlotte looking over like, what the heck is going on here? And so Alexa has a double top, and so she literally unzips the first top, she takes it off, she has the other top underneath. That doesn't untangle Lyra. So they go back, and you can see Lyra rolling out of the ring. She's rolling out of the ring with a vest connected to her head. So she rolls out to the ground. You can see people running over, like, trying to untangle her from this deal. And, like, all of this is happening in the middle of the match. And, like, if you look on the chat here, like, most people didn't even notice it. So it was actually, they did an incredible job solving this problem live in the middle of this match. And most people didn't even know any better. So they're running wild, and Charlotte and Bayley get hot tags, and they end up doing the double big boot. Charlotte goes for the figure 4, then the figure 8. Bayley goes to tap, but Lyra grabs the hand to stop the tap, which is, of course, ridiculous. And Alexa then hits a twisted bliss, breaks it up. Charlotte and Alexa then put them both on their knees, hit the double natural selection, get the pin. And, like, the second half of this match was awesome. One of the better WWE women's matches in a long time. So they retained the tag team titles, and then Kabuki Warriors ran out, hit the ring, destroyed everybody. Bayley ended up returning to help make the save. Asuka and Kairi bailed. So it looks like Charlotte and Alexa versus Asuka and Kairi, tag team titles, probably coming up at Survivor Series. And that's it. So I thought it was a very good main event.
I got to go back and watch the ending, see if I can spot the hair spot.
It's right after the hot tag when she goes for the Nightwing. Back in a moment, everybody. Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
If Truth didn't have the best weekend in this company, then Mr. Iguana did.
Oh, yeah, this guy is over, dude.
We'll get to him in the Worlds Collide review, but
he's got merch up on WWE shop.
He's going to make so much
He's got these
money.
Kids that want to see more Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So
his face paint is so funny.
I must stop you right here. It's not face paint.
Oh, would you stop?
It's head paint.
Yeah, it looks,
he paints his whole damn head.
It looks like he's he gets held upside down and they just dunk his head in green paint.
Yes.
It's absolutely bizarre.
And when he's not resting, he wears the round silver spectacles.
Yes.
And
he
flicks his tongue constantly.
Yes.
As an iguana would. And Del Toro and Octagon do whatever, and people are patient, but they don't care. And then Iguana tags in, and they are hyped. It took about 7 seconds to make himself my favorite luchador. He starts, I forget who he's in there with, but the guy offers a handshake, and so he licks it because he's an iguana, and then he gets hit with a shoulder tackle, or it's a chop. He takes a chop, he drops to his back, he sticks all 4 limbs straight in the air.
Yes.
He's playing dead like an iguana would. So then he brings in the puppet. I didn't get the puppet's name. I should have used it 50 times. But it's an iguana puppet that he thinks is real. Well, sometimes.
Already up on WWE shop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know if Harley Cameron's doll is on the AEW?
I do not know.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
So he starts doing spots with the puppet in his mouth. He lets the puppet try to get the pin. And amidst all the silliness, Conan says, you know this, Mr. Iguana, he's most popular with children.
I liked how as soon as the puppet started doing spots, Corey Graves goes, is that legal in Mexico? And without skipping a beat, Conan goes, yes.
Low on the list of things you will see in a Lucha Libre match, especially in AAA. So he starts using the puppet more as a weapon, or as a distraction, I should say. But it ends up with Lindsay Dorado getting a hold of this puppet, and he snaps, and he stomps the puppet, and he grabs the puppet, and he Spanish flies the puppet. This crowd is outraged. They're pissed. They're furious. But you know he's even more pissed and furious?
It got more heat than anything else. Maybe on the entire show,
Mr.
actually.
Goddamn Iguana.
They were
who's
furious.
seething and his eyes are breaking out, and he snaps and just rips ass. He grabs his own lizard and is whipping these guys with it. And then they remember it's just a puppet and they stop selling.
This was a very, very fun match. I liked it a lot. And there's a lot to learn here about marketing.
Yeah.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance's dog acting up, so he had to hit the road, but it's all right. I got it. NXT is tonight. Kalani Jordan versus Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts title. Kendall Gray versus Lash Legend for the Evolve women's title tonight, which is going to be a very interesting match because Lash is pretty heavily pushed, but Kendall should win this match. Jasper Troy and Axiom, men's speed tournament finals. Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne also on the show. Tomorrow is Fright Night Dynamite, Edinburgh, Texas. Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, and Hook in a 4-way #1 contenders match. We got to talk more about that tomorrow. Don Cal's Family Summit. Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue in the women's tag title tournament quarterfinal. And the Young Bucks, FTR, Jurassic Express, and Jet Speed in a 4-way #1 contenders match. Don't forget, sign up at WrestlingObserver.com or F4WOnline.com/Apple, F4WOnline.com/YouTube, F4WOnline.com/Spotify. We got a big Brian and Vinny show tonight. It's a Halloween spectacular. We'll all be wearing our costumes tonight. We're watching TNA Impact from 20 years ago this week, October 29, 2005. Some Bound for Glory matches, the very first ever Bound for Glory, and the Halloween Song Contest. Send your song, a minute or less, to Brian at WrestlingObserver.com, MP3. Try not to use music that'll get us flagged on YouTube. And we'll do a contest, see who has the best song. Put Song Contest in the subject line. And that's it, everybody. We're going to wrap it up. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.